Welcome back to this tutorial run of A Link to the Past Standard Randomizer. When we last left off, we've cleared a bunch of caves, which if you watch the last episode, you'll know exactly where we've cleared. So we're going to continue right from Dave's house. We have 134 rupees, which means we do not have enough to check Zora's item yet. So, based on the items we have, we could immediately go to Agahnem's Tower if we chose to, because we have the lamp and the Master Sword. Those are the two items you need to complete that. Well, you don't, and there's exceptions to that rule, but typically you do. So, today we're going to be checking the Eastern Palace and Shahashawa's hut, and kind of, you know, go through a few things here and there. We may go ahead and do Agahnem's Tower or Castle Tower. They're interchangeably called the same thing. We'll see. So behind chest 1 here, we get a heart piece, the bow, and an a heart piece. So we get 2 heart pieces in the bow. Now, getting bow this early is really good. This never happens in a run. So having bow early along with lantern means now Eastern Palace, which is where we're at here, is completable. Now the only drag is it is a blue pendant dungeon, which means it's not one of the dungeons necessarily required to finish the game. However, we're going to be clearing it for the sake of showing you where all the chests are, showing you where everything is. So we're going to go ahead and do Eastern, and we'll probably do Agahnem's Tower as well. Is our next destination. Depending on how many rupees we have at the end of it, we'll see. This could change to a variable here. We'll see. So this is Eastern Palace. It's the easiest dungeon in the game by far. I don't need bombs for anything. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my bow. Now, I'm going to show you guys a speedrunning strat in a couple rooms later to help you get through this a little bit quicker. I don't recommend doing this until you've had practice, and I'll explain that part when we get to it. Now, since we need the rupees, I'm going to go ahead and grab them. Another big 20 helps. We need 500 rupees to get King Zora's item. Now, we're going to head to the right first. Okay. Now, there are 6 chests in this dungeon. In the dungeon, you're always going to have three of the same items, regardless if there's any keys in the dungeon or not. You're always going to have a compass, a map, and a big key. So, we've gotten 2 of our other items already, and we've got the red tunic. Again, in easy randomizer, you're going to have double the tunic, double the shield, double the sword drops. So we've already got the red tunic. We also have 2 of the chests, which means there's only going to be 1 more item that's not going to be a map or a compass or a big key. So, now we take a quarter of the damage we would normally take from enemies with our green tunic. Which means we're going to be a lot harder to die. It's going to be a lot harder for us to die. I'm not saying it can't happen, but... Alright, we're going to grab that big 20 all day. So here's our next chest. And it's the big key. Now, even though, well, there could still potentially be 1 more item we need in it, so I have to check it anyways, but... We're going to go ahead and open the big chest, which has the compass in it. Now, the big key allows us to do 2 things in a normal Zelda dungeon in this game. It allows you to open the big chest and the boss key door, or the boss room. Now you're probably wondering why I said the bow is required to complete this dungeon. I'll explain it when we get to the part, but you absolutely have to have the bow to finish this dungeon. There's no way around it. We're gonna grab the key from here. We're gonna open the door. We're gonna grab that 20 rupees. Now I'm gonna show you guys the speedrunning strat here. Again, this is something that I've learned, and I'll show you guys and share it with you. Just, you're going to take some damage here. It's intentional damage. You can't get around it. Normally, to get to the chest you need to get to here, or the switch, you have to kill the enemy switch, will release all 4 of these guys. But we can just damage our way through it, and do it that way too. Okay. So the boss in this case is going to have the map, the dungeon map. I know that because, again, every dungeon is going to have a map, compass, and big key in it. Guaranteed. And then the rest should be items, theoretically, or keys, depending on how big the dungeon is. This dungeon has no keys, other than the key you get in that pot. So, and the one here. But this is one enemy's drop, so... Okay. So we're gonna head... We're gonna head up. Bum 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 bum. Alright. If you guys got any questions too, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Because that's how you're gonna learn to get better at this. So we're gonna flip this switch here, because this is the one that opens doors. The others are dead switches, they don't do anything. Alright, so now we gotta kill the red Igor. This is why the bow is required to finish this dungeon. You can't kill the red Igors with swords. You can kill the green one with a sword. You cannot kill the red one with a sword. You have to kill it with a bow. Okay, so we're gonna awaken the red Igor again, and we're gonna kill this one down here. Alright, so now we're gonna initiate the Armos boss fight. This is called Armos. He's very easy to kill. We just pepper him with arrows, basically. Or all 6 of them with arrows, I should say. And we get the map like I said we would. And the blue pendant. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark the blue pendant here. Now, on the thing here, it shows blue and red. Because blue and red have the same purpose. The green one's the only one that has a different purpose. I'll explain that. So in Shahashua's hut, he tells us to go and retrieve the green pendant, and he will give us an item for our trouble. So we'll go back to Shahashua's hut when we get the green pendant. Our next destination, since we don't have 500 rupees, is going to be Agahnim's Tower. There's literally nowhere else we can go in the game at this point. So we're going to go ahead and initiate the Castle Tower sequence. That's our next destination. Which means we will be going Dark World next. No doubts about that. Okay. So we're heading for Castle Tower. Dodge the spears. I love how these soldiers are just like, nah, he's cool. We'll let him pass. One of our guards just threw a spear at him, but we're going to let him pass anyway. So again, this just confirms we do have all 8 of the Hyrule Castle, chests. So we're going to go up this stairs, and right out here is Castle Tower. To initiate, there's this bat covering it. You can get past it with the magic cape. If you don't have the Master Sword, you can get past it like that with the magic cape. Or, provided we have it, we can just hit it with the sword. So as long as you have Magic Cape or the Master Sword, you can get in here. That is very important to note. Now, the strategy I like to use on these guys, since they deal a little bit more damage, is I charge my sword up, let them get together, and do a double slash there, or a spinning dash. Because one spin should kill them both. Now, there's only 2 chests in this dungeon. And they're both keys. So you don't have to worry, you're going to know what these are. Now, could I have farmed 500 rupees? Sure. It would have taken a literal eternity, and we're going to have a chance to get it later, trust me. Here's our other chest we got to get. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this soldier, just so we get there a little bit quicker. And there's our second key. Alright. Now, another important thing is, guys, if we don't have the Master Sword, we can still finish this dungeon. You need one of the other 2 following items, though, to be able to complete it without the Master Sword. Oh boy, please don't die here, dude. If we don't have the Master Sword, we can use one of the following 2 items in its place to defeat Agahnim. We can use the bug-catching net, or we can use the hammer. Obviously, we don't have the bug-catching net, so that's not a possibility. I can't show that off. I could show off the hammer, but I'm not comfortable with that yet. I've never had to have that happen in a seed. And since we got the Master Sword, we'll just do it as intended. Basically, we've got to reflect his Aghanim's bolts back at us. That's how that works. Okay, so we're about to the boss. We got, I think, like 1 more floor to go after this. And we're going to be 2 dungeons through the game. Come on, come on. There we go. Oh boy. This is not great. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna kill this guy now, because he's got a key on him. Or I'm gonna die. I'm not sure which is gonna happen yet. You rotten bastard. Alright, so we got the key. Now we're heading up to the final floor. We're gonna ignore these guys, because I don't want to fight that. We could if we so choose. We're gonna ignore all these guys too. So now we're in the room outside of Agahnim. Kind of the best strategy for this room is just to let them come to you, unless we can get to a point where we can knock them off the edge, just because there's no room to navigate this place. Alright, so we are at Agahnim, guys. Agahnim is the all-powerful sorcerer, and he's going to turn Zelda into a crystal. Nothing we can do about it. We got a boss fight coming up with Agahnim. So Agahnim fires these, like, blue-colored balls at us, or beams, or orbs, or whatever you want to call them. And we have to deflect them back at him with the Master Sword, or the hammer, or the bug net. Any of them will work. So he teleports around the room, and he fires these balls at you. You just deflect them right back at him. Super easy. To kill Agahnim, it requires 6 hits. So we've already are at 2. Sometimes he'll do that attack. That is a normal thing he'll do on occasion. He's being an asshole right now. Then after so many attacks, he'll come up here. He won't even look at you. He'll just fire lightning. That's your indicator if he goes up here in this top middle. He's going to fire lightning at you. There is, I think, 4 hits. Damn it. Okay, he's being a real asshole. Being a real McAsshole right now. 5. 1 more hit should finish the job. He's going to fire his lightning again. Okay, so never mind. I was at 5. I'm at 5. So we gotta hit him 1 more time. There we go. Okay, so Aghanim's dead. We're gonna go ahead and light this up. Now we have Dark World access, as well as Lumberjack Tree access, provided we find the Pegasus Boots. So this is the Dark World, guys. It's a mirror version of the Light World, but there's some changes in items and more locations we can find items here. There are 62 overworld chests. So we got our progressive shield upgrade. Now we're on the red shield. There's only 1 shield upgrade from here. Now, we could go right into Pod and finish it. We'll save that for the next episode. We'll do Pod on the next episode. It's called Pod, or the actual name of it is Palace of Darkness, or Dark Palace. And it goes by any of those names. We're actually going to head south first. Well, we might have time to get Pod in this episode. We'll see. We're going to go to what we call Hype Cave. Which, if you go down here and turn right immediately, you'll see a hole in the wall. We're going to open up the entrance to Hype Cave here. There are 5 items we can get in total here. It's really worth checking. And we got bombs from the thief. Ah, damn, we missed. Oh well. I was trying to do a quick speedrunning strat there. It just didn't work well. 50 rupees, piece of heart, 2 pieces of heart, and a tempered sword. Okay, so tempered sword is the second best sword of the game. We deal a lot more damage to normal creatures, and bosses get damage that we have to deal on them get cut in half. We want this sword for a few bosses in particular. Mothula and Cold Stare. And it doesn't matter for blind, so. I actually think, guys, we'll go ahead and do Pod this episode. I will go ahead and do Pod. And that's where we'll end it after we finish up Palace of Darkness. So to be able to do Palace of Darkness, guys, we have to have 110 rupees to get into Pod. Because we're going to meet our friend Kiki. Kiki is a rupee thief. He's a monkey. We have to pay him off to get access to the Palace of Darkness or Pod. I'm going to just be referring to it from here on out as Pod. Pod is going to have a lot of items in it. A lot of them are going to be keys, but there are going to be a lot of actual items in it too, so it's worth the check. So we're going to go ahead and do Pod. Alright, now Kiki is with us. We pay him 10 rupees to get him to follow us. Now, we get here, we pay him the extra 100 rupees, and he opens the entrance to Pod for us. We're going to see what we get today. Now, as a rule of thumb, typically I start left side first because there's only one chest to get, and it's the only way to get it. So I will typically start left side here. So for Pod, the switch we need to make the chest beers down here. Open the chest, we get a key right off the bat. So there are several keys in Pod. We're going to be finding a lot of those as we go here. Again, there are 14 total items in whole in this dungeon. So. Alright, now we're going to head up the right wing. I'll go ahead and pull out my bombs real quick. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. We also don't have silver gloves yet. I can't believe we don't even have silver gloves yet. That's weird. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead... Oh, I need my bombs for one more minute here. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and drop another bomb and pull out my bow. We're going to need our bow for this room. So this is another room. To beat Pod, you also need the bow. You need the 3 items you need to beat Pod are a hammer, the lamp, and the... the hammer, the lamp, and the bow. You need both these items to finish this dungeon. Or all 3 of these items to finish this dungeon. Alright, so we're going to head up these stairs. We get a couple more chests here. We get another key. And we're going to check here. Now, if you need the extra health, there is a fairy fountain right here. We don't. We're in good shape, so we're not going to worry about it. Now we've got the big key. Remember how I said there's always a big key, map, and compass in every dungeon, guys, so. To get access back here, I'm going to take a little shortcut. You need to have this blue for these switches. Some of the dungeons have these switches. Okay. So I'm actually going to go around here real quick. We're going to have enough keys to finish this dungeon in order. It's not going to matter. So I'm going to go ahead and bomb this. We're going to drop down here. Now, your instinct would be to drop down there, but actually what you want to do is go over here and use a key here. And in this chest, we're going to get a heart container. So that's one of the key items of this dungeon is a heart container. And we get another key. Like I said, there are lots of keys in this dungeon. There's 6 in total. I know because I played Key Sanity enough to know. So now our next destination is to go back up. And we're gonna push this statue and go through this spot. Now we're in that same hallway again. We're in the main hallway is what I call this area. We're gonna push this block and we're gonna head up through this door. We're gonna check the chest and another key. So now we have access to dark maze as well as a few other places. Now I'm gonna throw a bomb here to switch this. It's the easiest way to do it so you can get through here. Now we're entering a long hallway, which left way leads to dark maze. Now this is the speedrunning track. Oh, that is not a speedrunning track, ignore that. My next thing I'm gonna do here is a speedrunning strat. I'm not gonna do a bomb jump, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna drop a bomb here and throw a bomb to open that up. Saves us the extra trouble having to go do that. So we're gonna enter dark maze first. There's 2 chests in here, along with the big key, or big chest. So we got our map. So literally, there's only one more item. The compass is the only other item that's a mainstay other than keys in this dungeon. So we got the bug net. Now we can catch fairies. This is useful. Obviously, catching fairies is going to be really important if we need the extra help later. So now we have all the dungeon items. So everything else is going to be either a key or it's going to be a item. So we're gonna go ahead and work our way out of dark maze here. We're gonna work our way to the right. Now, inside Turtle Room here is what I call this. There's a heart piece. And another key. And another key. Now we have all the keys in the dungeon. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab up enough rupees here so we get to our 500. So we should have enough by the time we leave this room to have our 500 rupees. That will ensure that we have enough for Zora Flippers. Whatever he's got today. So we're actually 8 short, but we'll get 8 rupees. I have no doubt in my mind. So there's only 2 chests left again. We're gonna go south, and one of our 2 chests is right here. The last one's on the boss. So we got a rupee. So boss is gonna have an item on him too. Now, for the sake of convenience, we're gonna go ahead, drop down here. I'm gonna go ahead and use my boomerang this time instead of a bomb, because we just need to turn it blue. Okay. Gonna toggle this to orange. It's very important that's on orange. Now, this switch cannot be just toggled on and off by standing on it and getting it off of it. This particular switch has to have a statue on it. Or if you have Kana Samaria, you can use the Kana Samaria block. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot an arrow at that, which will open up the way towards the boss. We're getting close to the boss now, guys. Oopsies. Okay. So now we're going to head on downstairs. Now down here, we're going to need the hammer. And we're going to need the bow. Or we can use a boomerang too. That'll work fine. Now we're going to use the hammer the rest of the way out. Hopefully, we get a good item, because right now we don't have much further we can go, unless Zora has the item we need, which is entirely possible, because we don't have anywhere else we can go at this point. So he's either going to have the hook shot or the flippers or something. He has to. He's going to have a key item, or Zora King will have the other item we need. One of the two has to happen. Alright, so now we're at Helmasaur. King Helmasaur. You have to kill him. You need to hit him 17 times with your hammer. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's dead. Once Helmet's gone forward, Tempered Sword hits will kill him. So now Pod is done. I don't know what he has on today, but let's see. Ooh, the Silver Gloves. Okay, so we did get our progression item. Now we can access the other side of Dark World, which I will show you how to do that on the next episode. So we got our first crystal. We're pretty far, guys. We are pretty far. So I'll catch you guys later. That is going to conclude this episode. I'm going to save and quit, and we'll be back next time. So I will see you guys then. Later.